Today is the last day of September 30th, 2023. I'm here at Fort Myers Beach. This is the last weekend that they allow free parking here on the beach. So, come Monday, it's going to be $5 an hour minimum. And then they may actually, I'm not sure if they're going to give a $25 cap per day or not. Probably not. But I was told by someone else they were, but I doubt it. So anyway, I knew this good fortune would not last, and unfortunately it's over. This guy next to me here, this nice black van here, he's from Tampa. He does beach bicycling too, and he was really kind and was kind of like protecting that other spot. So I was able to get that spot, whereas people were looking for spots, and I just drove right up there. There's the air conditioning bathrooms ahead. Someone's jumping out of one. I have some garbage I'm holding in my hand. I'm looking for a garbage can actually, but I guess I'm gonna have to hold it until I get down to Pink Shell. Maybe I can find a garbage can down there. So anyway, temperature's gorgeous right now. It's about 89 degrees. There are some light clouds, puffy clouds all over the place. Mostly inland. There's some, if you're to the left, there's some really dark clouds down by Key West, which is directly south of us here. So it's about 100 miles away. I didn't put any extra air in my tires. My front tire is feeling a little soft. I should have put some air in it, but I was too eager to get down to the beach today. Garage selling was like almost a complete bust. I was thinking about going actually to West Palm Beach or up to Tampa today and doing beach bicycling. Tampa, the problem with Tampa is that it's such a large town. When you're trying to go to the beach, and since I don't really know, I used to go to school up in the area, so I kind of knew to a roundabout way where some of the free parking was, but I've been removed from that area for about 30 years, so I don't really know. And so I would be aiming for some of the paid parking, and usually that stuff is full, and it takes you an hour. I remember, I can even vaguely recall back in the mid-'80s looking for parking there, and it's just ridiculous. So, whereas in West Palm Beach, I know of a Publix where they kind of cringe if you park, but I still park there. I go in the store. I usually buy a bottle of soda or something like that, so I can keep the receipt. So in case they question me, I say, I shopped here today. And then I just take the bicycle out and go for a 2-hour bicycle ride. So that's what I like about West Palm Beach. And then I could also visit. I could go by Mar-a-Lago, and then go. And I like bicycling along the beach there, along the two golf courses. And I probably look like they're gonna hit me. From the looks of things, it looks like it's an extremely high tide. I'm looking at the canals. They're high. When I was garage selling in Cape Coral today, the tides were really high too. I didn't just garage sell in Cape Coral, but I only took video in Cape Coral. I hit 2 garage sales on the Fort Myers side. One of them, the first that I went to, had a really nice bike. It was a mountain bike with dual suspension for $100. 29-inch tires too. I was really tempted. In fact, I was going to offer her 80, but I didn't think she would take it. I already have 2 bikes, and both 29-inch. I'm going to pay a third. So I said, nah, never mind. So what are you going to do? I'm trying to move out of the house that I'm in right now, so I don't want to have 3 bicycles. The problem is that because Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach are in a state of still reconstruction, tourists know that, and you only have a token bit of tourists coming to Fort Myers Beach, and literally no tourists are going to Sanibel and Captiva. I mean, unless you're renting someone's house, like an Airbnb, or you're going through a real estate leasing company that leases homes, which is expensive still, but still, I mean, there are homes to rent that have been, but they're going to be expensive. And there's my garbage can. I just missed it. Wow. Right, hold on. I'm looking for that garbage can, but I still can't find it. There was one on the other side road. That's always the case. Always when you're looking for one. It's always the most opportune time. I see a dumpster over there. I could put this thing in the dumpster, but it's a sandy area here. Alright, we'll try it. It's terrible. Why? Oh wow! That thing did a double backflip spin, and it still made it in the dumpster. I should get an award prize for that. Okay, of course now I see a garbage can over there. Wonderful. So this is Pink Shell Resort. So it's looking pretty good here. They painted the outside, so it's looking really nice. So you got parking underneath the building. That's the primo parking. Anywhere we can get shaded parking is good, especially in the summertime where it used to be. It's not now. I remember going to Daytona Beach in the 70s. It was a monsoon all day long. It would start at 12. It wouldn't let up till 4. But recently now, in Daytona Beach, to a lesser extent, there is some rain still out there. But here in Fort Myers, it's been dry really for the last 20 years. I mean, I remember in the early 80s, Fort Myers, it would rain, start raining at 11, 12, and it would rain heavy until 4. And then it would abate for an hour or so, and then it would rain again heavy at 6 until about maybe 6:30. And then you would have another little rainstorm that would come through like around 8 o'clock. I mean, it was just, that was every single day. And, you know, driving through puddles was norm. Now, forget it. There's hardly any rain. The last couple of days, there's been a token rain, but still it hasn't been made up for the shortfall that we've had this year. Anyway, I like cars like that. They go forward, they stop, and then they want to back up on it. So again, this pier has been wiped out, and of course they're not going to rebuild it because that costs money, so they would rather charge for parking first. Yeah, it looks like it's at it's a medium high tide. I wouldn't say it's high, but I'm gonna try it here. Got it on a low gear, getting some really soft sand, but if I can just get over this hump. Okay, I made it. All right. So let me see how soft. This is pretty soft, and it's kind of wet there, so it looks like the tide is high because the waves are rolling over the sandbar. And I'm sinking a good half inch into the beach here. All right, now this is not too bad. Now the tire is accumulating a nice sand ring around it, but it's firm enough though. I'm only sinking maybe 1/8 of an inch, not too bad. So the water is not looking as nice as it could look. It's looking kind of murkish, but could be because the sun's at a weird angle, or I'm bicycling at a weird angle. The water's got a little brownish, kind of like a freshwater component, and that's what you'll see. You'll see like this brackish type of water when it rained a lot. But it hasn't rained today at all yet. But yesterday there was some showers. But today there's been a really high and close moon approach. It's a full moon, and I think that's what's causing it. The moon is almost the exact opposite end that the sun is, and it's about 11 o'clock. So it's kind of weird that the tide is so high, but yeah. So I don't think I'll be able to go down the beach too much farther. Glad there's a nice crowd. So I'm looking at Pink Shell's pools. That one pool is totally rebuilt. They're still working on the other one over there. There's 2 more they're working on. This is a nice wide beach. So for a high tide, and they've scraped a lot of sand off the beach. There was a little berm in front of this place, but Hurricane Idalia took care of that silliness. See, I must be bicycling in an area that's lower than high tide right now, because the sand here is wet, but I see no way of water getting in here. I'm looking to the right, and the waves are splashing at a level that's higher in elevation than where I'm bicycling. So this is like a below sea level high tide flat at the moment, and my tire is really caking. I have almost a half-inch of sand spinning around the tire. I'm getting hit with sandballs now. I'll move the bicycle over here a little bit. Hopefully the sand will fall off. Alright, so I was going to make a premise to my videos today, and I was going to use the word proximity. Margaritaville is opening in December or sooner. That's what they're saying. They're aiming for December. Could be sooner, hopefully not later. The premise is there is a whole bunch of businesses that are close in proximity to Margaritaville. And the premise I have is those businesses are going to do really well. You have the creamery, this ice cream place. See, look at this building over here. This thing, Skeleton Crew, they should have fixed this place by now. Still, they haven't even fixed the roof yet. It's been a year leaking in there. Again, one of my previous videos, I was looking at real estate potential deals. That's the deal. When people take it upon themselves to do a project, and they can't complete the project, and they had hope and good intentions and everything, and now the project is stuck in such a limbo that not only did they underestimate the enormity of the project at hand, but they lost out, because they underestimated, they lost out on a year's worth of rent. And they still owe money on that place, unless they have the place for sale, which the new owner will probably knock down anyway. Yeah, so you can see the water is cresting the sandbar here, or whatever you want to call this. I call it an accretion. This is the sand that's a sandbar that's been pushed up onto the beach high enough that it's exposed at the high of high tide. I mean, I can see that the water level does get higher, but that's only because of this super high tide we're having right now, because of the way the moon is in the sun. So this is a high tide, but it's not the high tide. And you have 2 high tides a day for the most part. Hello. So I told the guy from Tampa to wave if he sees me bicycling by. I told him I would. Yeah, sand here is really soft. There was an offshore dredge that was dredging a couple weeks ago. I haven't seen it the last 2 weeks. But a lot of the sand could be coming from there. Okay, now here, the Best Western Hotel, Best Western Plus, they're working on the roof again. Now this is Saturday, but it's still amazing that they're here on Saturday. They had some damage done from Hurricane Idalia that came through here. Very light though, they just loosened a lot of things. They're just reaffirming it. I don't know what they're putting up there, but again, they're taking their sweet time, whatever they're doing. They're making hotel rooms on the ground floor too. They need to rent up as much property as possible. And I see most of the rooms, they're taking out the sliders, looks like. I could be wrong, but they're putting in single doors. Or they're putting in French doors. They took out the sliders altogether, putting in, I could be wrong, maybe there are sliders in there. But all the doors are open like they're airing out the place. Anyway, I'd like to make this place into a casino, but then again, I've kind of moved on from this place. I know this place is not going to happen. I really like the Kia Estero shopping center as a casino now, because that place is still available, even though they want an arm and a leg. The upstairs in Kia Estero is ready, and if it's ready for a casino, that's where you're going to make the money. There's too many people that cater those places in town. I've seen a little local dive on Cypress Lake Drive. They don't even have a sign up. and they got like 20 cars in front of them. And what's surprising to me is that they don't they don't have sign advertising out by the street, but they have a loyal following. So if I made a casino that looks like Las Vegas on the beach, kind of like Atlantic City and Las Vegas combined, they would come. Alright, so this beach is nice and firm here. So this is nice. I still have some sand encrusted on the tire. It won't go away now until I bicycle back on the road. Just put our bicycle slow so I won't pick up any sand and spray it on people. Yeah, the tide is definitely high, you can tell. People don't necessarily put their tents so close to the waterline unless they did it when the tide was farther out. You know, the tide is sinking in a bit. So some places have graded, like this is the Edison House, and they graded their beach a little bit. You have to grade your beach a little bit to take out some of the cavities and get rid of the seaweed and such. And some of this grading also helps get rid of some of the ants that are on the beach. Oh yeah, I want some ice cream too. Now, this beach here looks like it's lost some. So some of this beach is being carried back out. I can tell that there's some erosion going on here because if I look up towards Pier 1, there's a little inlet forming up here, which is weird because this beach used to be about 20 more yards out. So I wonder where the sand is going. Now, I noticed down by Bobwitch Point, they do have a little break wall that they put in. That's smart. A lot of people are just offshore drinking the booze. It's good. Very somber mood here on the beach. Very little music. See, look, this beach used to be another 20 yards out. So either this tide is really high or the sand is being pulled down the Bobwitch Point.
See, I got another one. You got another one?
That was a little too deep for me to get around that. So I'm going to have to walk it. I won't go to the bicycle any. Still, there's enough room here for more people to hang out. I like how they're not putting the fences up too soon. There's the tuba guy. You hear him right over there. So this is where the old Pier 1, Dairy Queen, and then a little bit yonder, the top of Mass used to be. And then Palaka used to be over there, Pete's Time Out. And I forget that what was over there. And then in Pete's Time Out, you have now Yo Taco. Yo Taco used to be in front of the Lanakai. And another thing missing here is Kilwin's Fudgery. That thing's gone. There's rumor that Kilwin's is going to move over here to Margaritaville and be one of the stores in there. The creamery is that red building right there. Right there with the aluminum roof. So this business here is all these businesses are when this Margaritaville opens and 250 rooms with an average of 2 to 3 people per room opens up, you're going to have close to 1,000 hungry people wanting to get food and eat. And I know they're paying an arm and a leg for Margaritaville, but Margaritaville will have enough shops and businesses to support them. It's just people want to save money, so they don't want to go to some of the other shops. And the other shops right now, believe it or not, the hurricane, it's caused these food trucks have lower prices on average. So there is a slight benefit with these food trucks. Not to a great extent, but you're looking at a 10 to 20% reduction in food prices. Ice cream prices, maybe a 10% reduction. Because, it used to be $9 to $10 ice cream, now it's $8 to $9 or something. So it's still, there still could be some improvement. That building straight ahead on the left-hand side, the blue one, that was Waffle House, and then it was the Surf Club. It's been idle now. That's an excellent building, but whoever owns the land wants $7.9 million. So I don't know what's all that about. All right, thank you. So I'm looking here at the pool. This is Margaritaville's pool. It's almost ready. They got to put the final marcite layer down. It's still the they have the almost 12 inches of hydraulic cement, but they need to put the marcite down. So hydraulic cement is waterproof, but they need the marcite down for a waterproof. And who knows if they're gonna put a rubber barrier down on the shallow end so people won't trip and stumble in the shallow end and fall down on marcite. It would be smarter if they had like that marine. I hear Tuna Skin moved over here, so I guess who bought that land? Tuna Skin, smart. Because it looks like Tuna Skin now is fixing up their driveway here. Nice. They did a great job right here, Tuna Skin. That's the original Tuna Skin, so looks fantastic. They're just about ready to put down some kind of a driveway. They did a great job. They raised the air conditioners too off the ground, made nice metal holders. This is Lanakai here. It says private property, no trespassing. I'm gonna drive in here a little bit. Again, we're exploring. There's no trespassing. Terrible. So we'll see here. See a little deer thing. I'd like to drive that. Sheriff's parking only. So the breezeway, it's called the breezeway underneath the Lanakai. I don't see. I see slight evidence that they intend to reopen some businesses that are on the first floor. So they have the bar that's open. I hear people in the pool that are there enjoying themselves. I see that they have started renting the first floor rooms on Lanakai. So that's an improvement. I do see a chain here, which is horrible, which means I have to go back where I came from. So Lanakai is looking good. So, I mean, Tuna Skin is going to scoff. They're one of the fortunate people that are able to fix their place. I mean, look at the nice air conditioners they got. There used to be a walkway on that side. They took it out. So I think they're building more like suites than efficiencies. I think there used to be 4 rooms on each side. So I think they made 4 suites now, which have bedrooms and more. And it used to just be 8 efficiencies in that building on the second floor. So that's interesting to know, which is sad. It's too bad they couldn't raise that building up 2 or 3 or more floors. Beach parking, again, they want $15 on the land side and $20 here on the beach side. There is more and more open space. This is called an air garage. Wow. Yeah. Now again, on the left-hand side coming up is Kia Stero. They still haven't finished doing the roof, which is sad. I think that I see there's a box. There's a construction box in the roof, so it looks like they are attempting to do something. But on both sides of the building, it still looks like the same old disaster. But if there's any building that's big enough and most affordable, it's Kia Stero. This has got the most land available, the proximity to Diamond Head and the Lanakai. It's got nice asphalt parking, unlike the rest of the place, which is all sand. So, and I can make a 24/7 flea market on the ground floor, open 24/7. Not 24. Excuse me. Open 7 days, 6 a.m. to 12 noon, and then The second floor would be the casino, open 24/7. Yes. And then parking would be free with validation. I'd say from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. parking is free. As long as you get validated on the casino floor, then parking is free. And validation would mean you'd have to stay at least 15 minutes gambling. All right. Okay, I can see people are in this pool to the left of me. That's how you do it. You know, you rent a house, you stick 12 to 18 people in it. And that way you can divide the cost among the 18 people. Alright. So this little beach place here has, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 10 people in it. So 10 people nursing beers, that's not gonna make much money. Unless they buy like a lunch meal or something. So the beach has been scraped away, and I guess they're getting sand for some other reason. But looks like they're trying to make the berm again. So you have all these tractor passes during the week that have been scraping this beach. But Idalia did a good job in flattening out this beach because Ian made this beach kind of lumpy. And a flat beach like this is better for, if you're playing sports or if you're bicycling or flying a kite. Also, Idalia took out a lot of the ants that had anthills here, so that was good. But this is high tide right now, so the way you see the beach, this beach is a high tide level beach. So it goes farther out at low tide. So there's the Diamond Head coming up on the left-hand side. I'm my lowest gear, but you can see the clouds ahead. I didn't see the weather report yet today, but I used to be a weatherman, so I can analyze the sky. I can tell you what's going on. So there's multiple layers of activity in the atmosphere, and looking down towards Key West, I see there is a low pressure type of cell that could be forming, and these clouds are forming because of that low pressure. So, to answer the question, there will be storms today, probably around between 2 and 3 o'clock. Okay, so this here at the beach right now is awesome. Passing by Diamond Head, their pool looks nice, but there's not that many people in it right now. So, it's a very somber. Again, any property here, the most interesting property is the property just north of Diamond Head. It's not Margaritaville anymore. Margaritaville is a known fact it's going to go in. What we don't know about Margaritaville is if the Silver Sands property that they bought, is that going to be a parking garage, or are they going to build a new hotel wing over there? And only time will tell. But the most important property is the property just north of Diamond Head. Will Diamond Head buy it and build the Diamond Head 2 and 3 there, because the property is big enough to build 2 more Diamond Heads. And if that was the case, Diamond Head then would become the center of attention. Because right now Diamond Head can't really, it's a huge hotel and it has a lot of rooms. Diamond Head theoretically has enough capacity to provide, food and comfort to all its occupants. See this Neptune over here? I like this place. I just don't have the money. I don't have the, whatever it is, $60 million they want for the property or more. See how close it is to Diamond Head. Diamond Head's right there. You got 1, 2, 3 properties in between. But it's the property just north of Diamond Head over there. You can see it, all that rubble, piles of rubble with the The cloud is casting a shadow right now. If I were to buy that, just say if you were the real estate person that could transact that, and let's say you got 10%, 10% of like $60 million. I don't know how much they're gonna sell that property for, but it's gotta be phenomenal. Like, gotta be as much as this. I mean, they would sell this property for the land value. So this is gonna be between 60 and $70 million. They may ask 80 million. I would offer 50 or less. I mean, come on, let's get realistic. I mean, the $50 million. I mean, Silver Sands went for, not on the beach though, but went for 7.1. And that was that was almost an acre. Here, you're looking at maybe 3 acres, but still, it's, there's two things. You could restore the property the way it is, which is going to cost an arm and a leg, or you have to knock it down and build something, a superstructure, which is going to cost $100 million. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people here at Fort Myers Beach, but I don't know if there's that many people. And I think people are waiting because the Lanakai is not really full. They're kind of somewhat empty. And Pink Shell is a good crowd, but they're only, looks like about 40 to 50% occupancy. So the Lighthouse Resort is at only 50% occupancy. Matanzas Inn's only at 50% occupancy. Those places are all open. So at least Fort Myers Beach has hotels that are open. Sanibel only has the Island Inn. But here's we're passing by Montestero Boulevard where the Lee County government building was. The building's not there anymore. And again, they should move into the library. That would be the smart move. So I put the sunblock 30 on. I'm hoping the sunblock 30 is strong enough. I'm looking at my arms, they look orange. So, I don't know. The tanning index definitely is a 10 right now. So the beach bison right now, high tide. This is awesome. I'm impressed. I'm probably only going to go down to the old junker and turn around because I can see the beach is getting narrower up there and there's more and more seaweed. And from the looks of things, it looks like the tide, it was coming in, but now it's abated a little bit. So some of these birds, this is a social thing. They want to fly. They want to be chased, it's one of those things. They're all vying for king of the hill. They want to find the women birds here that are ready for them. And instead of flying the other way, they like to fly in the direction that I'm going. I just saw a nice apple murex. It was a nice one. So the sandbar ended here, so you can see that the sand, I don't know which way, it has to be moving towards the center of the island here, because, okay, this is really soft. I'm thinking at least an inch. I want to get back up higher on the beach. Yeah, see, this mud needs a couple weeks of high and low tide to get the mud and the sand mixed together just right so it forms that concrete, gets submerged. We're coming up to the old Fort Myers Beach RV park, and And sad, the red coconut in the Fort Myers Beach RV Park. Really soft here. Alright, this sand, it's not, I'm still sinking about ½ inch, but it's better than the other sand. So where it has this lighter gray color on top, it's okay, but see, now we're back down to that mud color, and I'm sinking it again. I'm trying to bicycle on the gray color, so this is a little bit gray here. See if I can follow the gray sand. It's all right. It's able to hold me. Now we're back on the mud. So anyway, here's coming up this fresh catch in Junkaroo on the left. And again, surprisingly, they haven't done diddly to fix the place. Yeah. And that's the problem. You blame FEMA, blame the federal government, blame Fort Myers Beach. They don't really want to fix it. They want it torn down and a $100 million building put back in its place. They'll make everything. That's the criminality that's involved here. They don't care about the $1,000 building permit. They want the $200,000 building permit. So they want people to sacrifice their lives and to lose all their money for big sharks to move in here. And the big sharks, of course, will find ways to elude paying any development fees. Because they'll have their big friends up north say, in Washington say, oh, well, this is like a quasi-government thing, so it's free. Bingo. Fort Myers Beach, criminality that they are, lost out. The locals lost everything. Land was stolen, and then a big monolith will be built here, and then we'll be forever off the tax roll. And then you'll have to see a lot of seashells in this area. It's kind of nice. Hello? Okay, we're back on that gray type of sand again. But there are a lot of seashells around here, so this is impressive. Hard to say whether we're going to come back on the beach or not. But any piece of property still standing here on the beach is a good investment. Anything. Right now, this is the dead season. September and October are the dead months. So the early bird gets the word. So you start the winter vacation early. You can pick up these properties, buy them, and almost flip them in a month. When the snowbirds get down here, they're gonna contemplate getting in on this gold rush that they're gonna call it. I see beach patrol up here. There's 2 vehicles. In fact, that's all we're going. The beach is narrowing and it's getting kind of more muddy. So I would only go up to fresh catch. So we'll stay on the beach as long as I can, but it's really soft. That's the problem. Oh, wow. I'm sinking about an inch or 2. Let me go up here a little bit. All right, still sinking. Go up here a little bit more. Okay, there's white sand up here. Okay, I'm not really sinking, but it's soft. Well, when I say I'm not sinking, I'm sinking about ½ inch. But at least it's not that good either. Let me go back down here. All right. On top of this tire track, maybe. That's not too bad. I'm sinking about ½ inch. I think you need more people walking here to squeeze out the water in the air. Get this beach hard. It's really the air that makes it soft. The water kind of firms up a little bit, but too much water is soggy. So you need a little bit of water squeezed out. I wish I could grab onto the beach patrol and have them give me a tow. You can see his tire treads would match these too. Okay, so this sand's not too bad. Right here, tons of seashells, tons of fighting conchs, tons of whelks, Tons of apple murexes. This is fantastic shelling right here, right in front of Fresh Catch. I just sanded right here where this tire tread is. It's not too bad. I'm sinking about 1/2 inch, but elsewhere I'm sinking about 1 inch in. I'll stay up here for a little while. I got on the low gear too. Again, I'm looking down towards Key West. I see, it looks like the tops of those clouds are moving north, coming towards the beach here. And when you have multiple layers of the atmosphere with energy, like right now, clouds straight ahead of us, that's what's called a low level. When you have cumuluses inside of it that rise up and start spreading out, that's mid-level. And then to the south of us, there are those really high strato / cirrus clouds. That's high level. When you have more than one layer of the atmosphere with that type of clouds, you're going to get that convection in the atmosphere, which will cause clouds that form even more so, and then of course rain. So you'll have wind with the convection. The wind will stir things up, causing more moisture to rise from the surface, get caught up in those clouds, and bingo. Heavier they get, they bounce into one another, they start raining. Yeah, I have to bicycle inside of his tire treads or else forget it. All right. A little bit further down here, like next 150 yards, the beach firms up a bit. You just have to watch for that gray sand. The gray sand seems like that concrete sand. Like right here, sand is not too bad. It's just a tad soft. Let's get that little gray color, like concrete. I'm looking towards the water. I don't see that gray color out there. I just see mud sand, like a mud flat. And the waves are not intense today. You have barely a 4-inch surf, which is surprisingly calm. Very little wind today. All right, I gotta stop for a second because I was digging into the beach about 1 inch here. My tires, my legs are tired. But I do kind of want to go back on the beach because I had excellent bicycling up until really from Bobwitch Point up until Lynn Hall Park, and then on the opposite side of Lynn Hall Park, I should have gotten to the beach a little earlier. But from there all the way up to Diamond Head was really nice. Just after Diamond Head, there seems to be a little issue with the sand. But I know coming up in the next 50 yards or so, the beach will firm up. In fact, I'm gonna start moving over that way. I see my old bicycle tire. Yeah, this sand I'm digging in almost 1.5 inches. Oh, it's all right. Try it. Stick to one of these grooves. All right, see, this groove is all right. Squeeze out a lot of air and water. A lot of seashells. You really have to watch out with your bicycle because I think one of these seashells could end it for both your front tire, and then it'll be really sharp for your back tire. Once you break the front tire shell, back tire will definitely get punctured. You have to avoid driving over the seaweed because I can't tell what's underneath it. And normally seaweed got caught on something, probably a sharp shell sticking up anyway, so the seaweed is masking something more ominous below it. Alright, so this is okay, right past the seagulls. Maybe another 50 yards. The beach looks like it firms up again. I can see some sand rising. Let me try to bicycle over there. And it's still sinking about 1 inch. Let me try this sandbank here. It looks firm. Let's see. Still 1 inch. Oh wow, I'm really sinking. Oh, not good. We go a little closer to the beach. Oh, Oh, this is not too bad. This is pretty firm over here. I'm only sinking down maybe 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, this is nice. And the tide is still coming in. You can see the seaweed bunching up still. The tide is still coming in. I passed a cone. I should have stopped and picked it up. I got annoy these seagulls. They're on a nice, they're perched on a really nice spot. Yeah, the tide is coming in. Alright, I'm gonna try to go back over here again. Okay, so right here, it's kind of hard pack. Let's see. Yeah, this is nice sand. So this is nice sand here. I can see my old tire tread. So it was in the little softer sand area below, but this sand here is nice. All right, we're passing Neptune in on the right. There's a Diamond Head coming up on the right. There's not that many boats today offshore. It's just a very somber day. Almost like people still have to work today. Definitely tide's coming in. Still. But hopefully not heading for that super high tide. Because the beach here is getting soft. So I should be bicycling. Okay, now this is not too bad. This sand is kind of firm. I am getting that mud ring around the tire. Alright, hold on, let me go back up this way. Okay, this sand is not too bad. That's a big Great Dane in the water. Wow. Okay, ahead of us is the pirate. He has people take pictures of him with parrots for $5 per picture. This woman just came up to him to take a picture of us. Obviously, she's got $5. But he does that all day long. Traverses the beach. I mean, you think about it, he might get 5 or 6 times 5. That's not too bad per hour, $30 an hour. Alright, so this cloud shadow is kind of nice. We're getting 2 shadows. We're getting a lower cumulus cloud, and then we're also getting a strato cloud. There's a home over there. It's interesting because they have a blue roof on, but it definitely should be condemned and knocked down. It's right here. Let me show it to you. This would be the investment opportunity if you knew how to do mudding on a house. Straight ahead of us, there's a house that the porch was ripped off of it, the stairs were ripped off of it. It's got blue tarp on the roof. It needs to be knocked down, but because of its real estate situation, they might sell the property for less than it would be without the house on it. So that's the investment opportunity. Those are what you look for in terms of buying property like that. back up to Kai. Hold on, I gotta take a breather. Just pedaling on this open sand. It's been quite treacherous. Since the tide's coming in, I'm gonna have to bicycle backwards a little bit. I have to bicycle over here. I don't want to go through that big straight up there. So again, the sand here is somewhat, not right here, but let me get up here a little bit. Yeah, so I'm thinking about a half inch here, which I'm just trying to bicycle on the gray sand here. It's not too bad. I am on low gear though. People are going out to the boat, so it looks like the guy on the boat is filling up. He's filling up cups full of some kind of alcohol. So, again, a good business. If you get $5 a glass, bingo. With one bottle, you buy in total wine for $20. You're getting $5 a glass. You might be able to get 5 glasses out of it. That's not much of a profit, but still, it's a profit. Sand here is really loose. I still don't see the amount of people that should be here. And the boats offshore are getting a little more thicker, but I don't see what I would consider to be a Saturday morning boatage. I say the boats are about 30% less than they should. I see a lot of boats out here, don't get me wrong, but it's still less. I'm gonna have to bicycle back a little bit. Alright, so sand here is really soft and the tide is coming in. You can see the seaweed is being bunched up a bit. Come up is Diamond Head. There's a dog there taking a bath in the water. It's pretty cute. Again, a lot of people are just out in the water drinking, kneeling down in the sandbar, having a great time. That's really what you do here at Fort Myers Beach. You chat with the people at the boats, they fill you up with booze, you slip them a couple bucks, and it's party time. You got music out there. The only thing they don't have out there is bathrooms. So boats have to anchor close to shoreside bathrooms. That's where the Lana Kai comes in handy. And soon, that's Margaritaville will be bathroom central. Now that's what I don't understand. That guy had no sunblock on. His face was turning from purple to pink, which means he's got like a 3rd-degree burn on his face. Infrared light is still coming through. You have to put something on if you're going to be at the beach for more than 30 minutes.
Not even that, bro. It's just like
when I say 30 minutes, this is a nice cloud cover going on right now. You could be at the beach for 2 hours in this cloud cover. Just look at slight, again, the infrared or ultraviolet sunburn, whatever you want to call it. But without sunblock, if the sky were to open up, you got direct sunlight for 5-10 minutes, that would put a burn on your face, staring right at the sun for 5 minutes straight. I've done that even up north, up in states like New Jersey, going outside in the dead of winter when it's a beautiful, clear day. I got sunburned. I go to the flea market in the middle of the winter time, sunny out. I got sunburned. So the sun doesn't care whether it's summer or winter. It will give you sunburn. So, okay, the beach is really nice and packed now. So there's been a lot of foot traffic here to compress the beach. bicycling back here because there's a lot of people with their stuff close to the water. Okay, so here's this inlet forming. I can't get by here. Well, I'd have to go through the water, and this one looks kind of deep with wave action. So we're going to have to come ashore up here near Times Square. See, if Pete's Time Out was still here, they'd be scoffing here. All the drinks and the beachside dining. I used to be able to bicycle the whole way up to the road here, but I just can't make it all the way. All right, so we're gonna go back on the road a little bit and check it out. So people are walking towards bathroom facilities. It's hard to find them here. And Diamond Head is, Margaritaville is not open yet. A lot of these places, a lot of these stores here, they don't let people use their bathrooms unless they're patrons. So, and some of these places that are just the trailers, they're not required to have bathrooms. So they can point down towards the porta potties. No one really wants to use a porta potty. They don't clean them. It's disgusting in there. Alright, so bicycling on the sidewalk here, I still have a ring of sand mud around my tires. Let's see how long that lasts. So it's coming off slowly, but I still have it. Looking out down towards Naples, there is a big thunderstorm that's working its way up the coast, northwards. And it's about an hour away from here. But I see it is making its way up the coast. That's part of the storm that was down by Key West. That's the energy of has moved up this way. Part of it, not all of it. I can look down, there's still a big storm down by Key West. This is the time of year where hurricanes would develop down by Key West or south of there. So I'm not surprised. That's where you get the hot water of the Caribbean Sea mixing with the hot water of the Gulf of Mexico at various altitudes. And, it just causes there to be a little bit of wind, causes there to be clouds, a lot of convection. So again, this is where Tuna Skin is, and they have a building down there. So I wonder if they had to rent this or they had to buy this property. But whatever they did, if they got that property, that'd be awesome. I would love to go in partners with 7-Eleven across the street. I'm surprised they haven't opened this one, especially this one. Because this one is the closest one to Margaritaville. And you're right next to the Lanakai here. So Lanakai, again, they're renting that first floor now. So that's amazing. I see some of the rooms are still being worked on, but they're starting to rent that first floor, which is good. Probably renting it for a discount. You might as well. So they've done a fantastic job fixing their place. And I'm looking over, the Lanakai has some apartments by the bay. And it looks like the second and third floor are available to be rented. The ground floor, which is also the first floor, and that one looks like it's still being renovated. You can tell the clouds are looking a little bit more ominous, a little more, the bottoms of them look a little more darker. That's because the clouds are getting thicker and there's a convergence zone. So not just ahead of me, but also over me and behind me, the clouds are darkening. So I said 2 to 3 o'clock, I mean that. And again, it's probably around a little after 12 right now, so, and there is definitely rain. I see a new rain developed just offshore, about a mile to the southeast of where I am. So that will spawn even more downdraft, more convection, more rain. Because the day, again, the sun is just getting started in this area. It's about 91, 92. Humidity is probably about 80%. I want to see if I can come up to that building I saw on the beach. Again, it's all about proximity. Like the goods here, that would be a good store location, but you got to raise it to the ground. across the street there on the left-hand side. People are putting big rocks so people don't park there. This is the old Leaky Tiki across the street on the left-hand side. I bet Leaky Tiki wishes they were back here at this location. I see a building permit, so they're going to do something over there. And then over here is the old across the street. That's where the old Billy's Bicycles was, but they weren't affiliated with the Centerville one. Just that they're not in business anymore, which is sad. And granted, most of these big hotels rent their own bicycles, so they don't necessarily need Billy's Bicycles, but Billy's Bicycles was an overflow and convenience. On the left-hand side, you got Drive Power Realty. They're one of the first real estate firms to truly 100% open up an office here back on the beach. Coming up on the right-hand side is Lorenzo or Lafrino. I forget how you pronounce it, but I see people are parked here. I'm not sure if they're using a beach or not, but they want $20 million for this property. They ain't gonna get it. The place is destroyed. It needs to come down. They just put a new roof on too, which is really sad. Okay, so we know that the property was 3 away from Diamond Head. I wonder if I already passed it. Hope not. I probably did. I'll have to go back. I just want to bicycle down here a little bit more. Again, across the street, Royal Scoop. Don't ask me why they're not open, because I would buy the whole building. You know, I'll pay $500,000 for it. I'm not gonna get crazy, that's for sure. And this Beach Connection, they want $1 million to this property. Good luck on that one. I could have bought the whole business in 1989 for $50,000. I should have. I wanted to, but I had already committed buying another business. When I found that this one was open, again, that's the sad thing. You find out just a day too late. You're like, oh wow, could have made a different purchase decision. So I don't know what this guy's doing in the middle of the road, but he must be a surveyor. He's got a big camera. There's some kind of a flashing light. See, it's just a lot of open space. They haven't built the new Lee County thing. They're just using a lot of modular homes, looks like, to conduct business. But they should actually move down to the old library, because no one uses the library. Nobody cares about the library. The library, all it did was attract bums in the area. Bums, degenerates, and it was a way for them to indoctrinate into the Democratic Party. So it's a good thing that it's not open. I'd like to buy one of these trailers. These town hall trailers. Again, all these places that are still closed with fences. Imagine, you need to sell. You need to sell the property here. You need to, realtors need to be knocking on the doors. Need to be calling these people up. I would. Here, the beach shell inn. This is a good business idea. These people had a lot of hopium. They tried. They spent all their money. They didn't realize that the work involved, the cost to restore this, was going to be more than what the building is worth. So they probably had a code inspector come in and say, you know what? The cost of you fixing this is more than the value we have on the books. So you have to knock it down. You have to bring it up to code. And that did it. That did it. That did it. That ruined it. See, they spent $3 to $4 million on all these pavers. These are colorful pavers. These are actually more expensive. Again, those pavers are worth $10 to $20 a brick. More in the order of $20 a brick. So imagine 2 million pavers at $20 a brick nowadays. They bought it $1 a brick, whatever it was. Now it's $20 a brick. So you can make money just by ripping up the bricks. It's a good investment. And put down an asphalt driveway. Look at that. See, now you're thinking, buy this property just for the bricks alone. The bricks are expensive. See, one thing I noticed that the Lorenzo, they have a lot of real estate. I tried to call them up and to leave offers, They don't call you back unless you're offering the asking price. So it's sad. Look at all this open space here. It's totally sad. Alright, we're gonna turn around. Here's the library. No one used it. No one's used it for a year. Nobody cares about it. You know, they're parking a lot of their beach patrol vehicles in there. See, the only thing that's working now is the high-low tide clock. They got power restored. Looks like air conditioning restored. And the only books they have in there are the political books. You know, who wants to read about Obama and Biden's corruption? No, nobody wants to learn how to become a thief. Silly. But that's all they carry in these libraries. You go into a school library, it's the same thing. No one wants to read those books, but those books are there. I don't know why they buy them. Nobody wants them. Nobody reads them. Now, some teachers may force the kids into that, you know, communist reading. I wouldn't want to read it. But, you know, those teachers somehow are in love with that, with Mao philosophy. Not me. But anyway, so the library would make a good casino, and again, I would give back to the city of Fort Myers 50% of my net income. If they sign that building over to me for $1, then they're almost an equal partner. And I would have that place opened up, 24/7 casino on the second, third floor, and then the front of the building would be a food court. I'd be making a ton of money. And I would do the same thing. You can park there as long as you're validated. 15 minutes on the table. You go to the beach as far as I want, as far as you want, no problem. And eventually I'll be buying up all this other property here, because the casino needs beachfront property too. The more property I have, the better it is. Like this property here, that's all fenced off. Perfect property to buy. They spent all their money on fixing it, now they need to sell it. I mean, I'd probably be able to get a property like this. It's got a lot of units though, but I'd probably be able to get a property like this for about maybe $35 million if I'm lucky. If I'm not lucky, we're talking $45 million. Tennis courts, that's a dying thing. Every tennis court that's been destroyed so far at Fort Myers Beach has not been rebuilt. There's nobody plays tennis anymore. It's all pickleball, or they're just going on the beach and playing paddleboard or paddleball or whatever. All this open space on the beach here. This is nice property here on the left-hand side. The property, it's actually divided by a little road there, but you could buy all the beachfront property and this property next to the road. Similar like how casinos in Atlantic City did it. They bought from the boardwalk all the way to Pacific Ave. And the smart ones would buy not only to Pacific Ave, but then they would purchase all the property all the way to Atlantic Ave. So like the beach connection there on the left, on the right-hand side. I mean, they want $1 million for it. What more can I say? That's just totally ridiculous. And it's destroyed more than 50%, so you have to knock it down. So it's just the value of the property, which is not much, because there's new setback rules, and that property may not even be big enough to build a building on it anyway, because of the new setback rules. It's not worth anything. This Royal Scoop, however, I can see that the property is not 50% destroyed, but it's still mostly intact. It's just a little bit inside. So that whole property is worth money. And it's close. It's not close to Diamond. It's not close to Margaritaville or Diamond Head per se, but it still is commercial property that's viable with parking, which is hard to come by. We're gonna see if we can find that. I just can't seem to find it. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was after Diamond. Maybe it was after Diamond Head. Alright, we're still looking. Anyway, the clouds that are floating by here are getting thicker and thicker. There's a little ebb and flow though. I just like the nice cool, it's just very mellow, very tranquil with the, you got the high strato clouds, cirrus clouds above, which are taking up some of the infrared radiation or ultraviolet. I'm just trying to place one here so as not to put too many of those bumps. Wow. we'll try it again. It's dangerous, but we'll try it. Oh, we missed it. Oh well. Let's set the bicycle over here. Oh, I see where that house is. Okay, we'll try to get over to it. Try to check it out. Yeah, this property on the left-hand side, I don't know what it was called, but this is what Diamond Head should buy. This whole property. So, I mean, I know I couldn't get this thing cheap, that's for sure, because of the property's location. But it has the potential to be a bachelor's pad with a dog. So if you have a dog and you have the gall to live in a place made out of wood, this is it right here, straight ahead. This is the place from the beach that looks like it was patched together with duct tape. It's just there's a contractor thing here. See, there's a little bit of an inlet being carved, and the staircase right here is missing to the front door. So you need a ladder. You got a grill. You got pavers. See, someone's stacking the pavers. They're gonna steal them again. And there used to be a balcony in the back. You can see they used to have parties back there. There's a staircase that leads nowhere because the balcony's been ripped off. Wow. Somebody put those 2x4s, I mean the plywood up there. That's all they did. It's an investment.
It is.
Definitely an investment.
Definitely a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
And then up here, there's another piece of property. This house right here. I think there's somebody living on the second floor. That's the amazing thing. But you can see here, there's a little inlet carved. And it's private property. But you can see this thing was made out of, the ground floor was made out of stucco and some CBS. And that's probably what saved it, but the upper level, you see I'm not sure if it's concrete stilts or what. There's a new AC unit that was added. The roof is aluminum, so it's got a potential. Again, it's very close to Keller Williams real estate. I don't know, this would be, you need truckloads of dirt in here to fill in this inlet. And we need to build a new railing, which is, again, not a problem. Railings are nothing. Just, how much is the damage inside? I mean, the windows are open, obviously, because it stinks in there. There's obviously no power to this building because the windows are open. In the summertime like this, crazy. I see no power lines going to this building. I see a big AC unit, though, but no power lines, so. And I see an RV next to it. Now this unit, this now this is interesting because I would love to buy this Tri-Town Construction to put a real estate office here. It's got 2 entryways. It's got a white sticker. It's got a white thing on the side, which means occupy at your own risk, which is a good thing. And it's right next to this Moe's coffee cafe, which is pretty nice. So that's probably, I'll have to check out that place. I'll find out how much it is. I'm not gonna pay no arm and a leg, but you know what? If I can get a good deal for it, I could have one half to live in and the other half the real estate office. Bingo. Even just a cot. I don't need much. I just need some kind of efficiency. Just to get the business open. Once I get the business open, then bingo. It's got power. The only problem is it's right off the road. I'm gonna check that out when I get home. You have to think too, though, that if you get into a business, you are consuming your time. Your time is now. There's no vacations. There's no spending the weekends anywhere. There's no optional time. For 7 days a week, at least during the daylight hours, you're committed to that business. And the nice thing about a real estate business is that you can get other associates in there to pick up some of the slack. The question is, do I want to buy it here or buy on Cinco? Because Sanibel's got 2 to 3 times more property that's in distress mode. Here you have a lot of property in distress mode, but the focus now is shifting from Fort Myers Beach to Sanibel. So Sanibel, there seems to be more commercial property available, but it's also a bigger city government over there with more stringent rules, even in Fort Myers Beach. Fort Myers Beach is terrible, but the city of Sanibel is even worse. And of course, city of Sanibel, just getting on the island is a hassle. You have to drive 20 miles an hour over the causeway. It's $9 each time you go across the causeway, unless you have a transponder, then it's only $6. But there's a speed trap for about 4 miles at 20 miles an hour. So that's the problem there. At least here in Fort Myers Beach, there's not as large of a speed trap. And once you get situated here on Fort Myers Beach, then when the rest of this real estate does recover, then you stand to do pretty good. Sanibel on the same side, there's going to be a lot of auctions coming up. So this is the Margaritaville pool. You can see that it's going to be an awesome pool. There's probably going to be floating fountains in it too. That's going to be totally awesome. And then this is a big bathroom right here. This big block thing that you see on the left-hand side, that's a huge bathroom, changing room bathroom. That's amazing. So the nice thing about Margaritaville is that they have these stairs on the right-hand side going up and down from their sun tanning area. I think that's the sun tanning area. I don't think there's a lazy river up there. It would be nice if they put a lazy river up there. Really nice. But that's probably for future consideration. You know, what's going to happen to the land here on the right-hand side? I think that this land here is owned by Lee County, not Fort Myers Beach. And I think Lee County will probably opt to sell the land. And Margaritaville is right here, so it used to be private land, so they'll probably sell it because otherwise there's no tax money you're not generating tax money from it. It's not really a park, it's a sand lot. So people need free parking. They need to leave Lynn Hall Park free, tear down the structures, add more parking. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a little longer because tomorrow there's no Sanibel video because there's no more free bicycling on Sanibel. So, it's sad. All you got to look at is the porta potties here. There seems to be a lot more people though at the beach at the moment. But they're not doing anything to fix up these bathrooms. It's like they're taking a block away, like 1 block a week. It's just that slow. Looks like a lot of people are starting to pack up, and some people are coming to the beach. But the storm is right behind me, probably another 20 minutes away. It's coming. Little did they know I have a good parking spot. We just followed. Yeah, I'm gonna go home and do some work on the house. First, I want to have some food. I want to have some soup. Then I have some grinding work to do. And then I'm gonna need to stop in and do some painting. So I need to get some paint in the store. I need to get some black I don't think I'm gonna get acrylic or satin. I'm gonna get enamel paint, just oil based, to do some metal. And anyway, see you guys next week.